they're like producers.
Okay, good. If you don't need it, you get rid of it, right? Good job. Very good. That's great. All right, so write the word expelled there, and then write what you think it is. Okay. Was there another word, Adriel, that you circled that was unknown, or you weren't sure of? Vital. Okay, put that there. And then I want you guys to go back in the text. Vital was a word that we saw twice. They used it 2 times. Okay. So I want you to go back into the text and find the word vital and see if there's any clues that can help you. Okay. When you find it, if you need help, let me know. How are you guys doing? Ooh, you picked heterotrophs. Okay, where was heterotrophs? What paragraph? Can you show me?
Paragraph 6.
Okay, perfect. Yep, you located it. Great. Okay, so let's look at this. Can you read the beginning of the paragraph for me, Dorian?
Consumers are living things being that need to eat other organisms to survive. You may have heard about this group as being at the top of the food chain. They're also known as heterotrophs.
Heterotrophs. Good. Okay, so stop right there. So we start off with that paragraph talking about what? Yep, and what's the vocab word that we're focusing on in that paragraph?
Heterotrophs.
Yes, heterotrophs is right here, but what is the main idea of this first paragraph?
They're at the top of the food chain.
Yeah, but who's they?
Consumers.
Yeah, good, consumers, right? So they talk about consumers first, and they say how they're at the top of the food chain. Do you know what that phrase means?
Like, best.
They're the what?
They're best.
Ooh, they're the best, maybe. How about, are they the
Strongest.
The strongest, yeah, okay, usually. So consumers are at the top of the food chain. They're the ones that are able to like eat all the other organisms and things. Like they're kind of like, you know, the head honcho, right? Like the big time ones, okay? So we think about like carnivores, right? They hunt and eat all the other smaller animals, right? All those kinds of things, yep. So consumers are there, but look right here, it says they're also known as, so when they say they're, who are they referring to? They're referring to the what?
Consumers.
Yeah, so they're saying they're also known as heterotrophs. So they're saying that you can use the word consumers and heterotrophs interchangeably. It's the same thing. So if you know what a consumer is, do you know what a heterotroph is? Yeah, okay, so write it down. So what are heterotrophs? You said they what? Very good. Perfect. Great job. They eat both plants and meats like. Love it. Good job. All right, guys, everyone, let's come back together. All right, I heard some really good conversations, and I saw some really great writing. Okay, so a lot of the pairs had similar words that they circled, okay, that were maybe unknown or unfamiliar, okay? Would any of the pairs like to share out one of their words? Okay, Kenya and Allison. Heterotroph? Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of that word before? Okay. So how did you figure out? How did you and Allison figure out what you think it might be?
At the top of the first sentence of the paragraphs, it says consumers of living things that need to eat other organisms to survive. And then on the second sentence, it says you may have heard about this group as being at the top of the food chain. They're also known as heterotrophs.
Very good. So you were able to make the connection, right? If consumers are also known as heterotrophs, right? So you can use that word interchangeably. So if you know the definition of a consumer, you know what a heterotroph is. Let me show you. I have this up here to kind of show you. I didn't want to show you right away because I wanted you to figure it out on your own. But heterotrophs are consumers, okay? They need to eat other organisms in order to live. So can a heterotroph make its own food?
No.
No. Who makes their own food?
Producers.
Producers. Did anybody circle autotroph? You did? Okay, was that one of the ones you wrote down? No. Okay, so that's perfect. Let me ask you guys, the three of you. When you looked at the word autotroph, what paragraph did you have to go back to find that? What number paragraph so we all can follow you? Okay, everyone, we're on paragraph 4. All right, can you read, Jose, the sentence where autotrophs was?
Autotrophs do not need to kill anything in order to eat plants and algae.
Very good. They don't have to kill anything. So they're not hunting or consuming, right? They don't have to worry about that. Look right here. It says Producers are living things that can make their own energy out of non-living resources all around us, like oxygen and water. They're also known as autotrophs, okay? So right here, autotrophs is like a synonym for producers. Those names can be used interchangeably. So you have to remember that if you don't see the word producer, but you see autotroph, you have to think what, Simon? If you see the word autotroph and they don't use the word producer, what do you have to remember? What's an autotroph? What's another name for autotroph? Oh, I'm asking. Think of the word auto. What's in the beginning of that prefix auto? Do you know what auto means? Do you know what auto means? Okay. Does someone want to help him out? Danny? What do you think, what does autotroph mean?
Something that makes its own food.
Yeah, that's a producer. And just so you know, the prefix auto, I'm going to put it right here. Guys, look, the prefix auto actually means, self. And troph means feeding. So are autotrophs self-feeding? Yeah, they make their own food, okay? When I think of an autobiography, have you ever heard the word autobiography? It's a person who writes their life story about themselves. So autotrophs is they're producers. They make their own food. Okay, so let's look at this. So for autotrophs, we have grass, plants, some bacteria, and algae. Algae is typically, in water. You find them in the water, okay? All right, so now do you guys feel confident that you know the difference between the two? All right, so sometimes you'll see like articles or questions and they'll say autotroph or heterotroph and you have to understand what the two are. Does anybody know what the prefix hetero means? Have you ever heard that before? Hetero actually means different or other. So does that make sense? Because heterotrophs have to what? They have to eat different things or other things. Yep, they can't make their own food. Great job. All right, guys, you did awesome with this. All right, so Danny, can you go around and collect this so I can have this from everyone? Thanks. Everyone give that to Danny. What we're going to do now is we're going to get the 4-box organizer together, okay? And I loved how when you were working with your partners, I saw you going back to the text and you were citing what paragraph you were on and where you were looking. What? Yep, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to have you guys spread out and go on your own now independently. Listen up. What we're going to do next is I want you to answer, yes. Oh yeah, sure, in a minute. I want you to look at these questions, okay? I'm going to pass this out for you. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, sir. Okay. Put your name on top of here. This is our 4-box organizer, okay? Our 4-box organizer has 4 questions, okay? These questions are dependent on you using the text, okay? Remember what I said, remember what we talked about with our learning targets. We're going to clearly cite text evidence while we read, and we're going to use our 4-box organizer to do that. So everyone put your name on top. Walter, can you read just what the directions say up top for me, nice and loud? You read it out.
Use text from the ecosystem of forest to support your answer.
Good job. Okay, so you're going to use your text, right? You have your annotated text. It's all ready to go. Remember how we used our 2 colors, right? What did we do? What did we use our orange for? Can someone remind me? What was orange? Alex.
Main idea.
Good. So whenever you felt like you were finding the main idea of a specific part of the article, you put a little orange star. And Allison, what did we use for the blue? Good. Keywords or details will be underlined in blue, okay? So that's going to help you. All right. Very good. To find our evidence. Yes, Danny, we're finding our evidence. All right, so before you fill this out, there's 4 questions, and you're going to need to use your article to support them. Can we read these sentence starters together? Because these would be a great way for you to write the beginning of your answers on here, right? Can we read them together? All of us, ready?
According to the text, the article.
Okay, wait, time out. Let's try that again.
According to the text, the
article statements, for example, the text as reading based on the text.
Okay, very good. Some of you went a little fast at the end. So these are some sentence starters that I want to see you incorporate in here that show us that we're going back to the text to find the answers. We're not just coming up with these things from our head or from what we previously learned in other classes at other times, okay? So the text says, based on the text, I know blank, all right? All right, get to work. I want you using your text to help you with this, all right? I'm going to be walking around if you need support or if you have any questions, all right? All right, get to work. In paragraph 5, are there any examples about how they take from the ecosystem? What do they take from the ecosystem?
That they usually eat dead animals and plants.
Good job. So they're feeding off dead animals and plants. So we can put that's how they take, but then what's an example of how they give to the ecosystem? How do they help the ecosystem?
Well, when an organism dies and its body, no.
You're right, look. Right here, you're right. The body decomposes and bacteria get to work, right? Bacteria, keep going.
Let's imagine the dead organism is a deer. But bacteria obtain energy from the deer's body while helping it decompose efficiently.
Good. So their bacteria is getting energy from the deer's body, right? And then what do? Underline that, right?
The deer's body breaks down.
Yes, and then what does, now my question for you is that's the first one, what's an example of how they give back to the ecosystem? How does a decomposer give back? Keep reading, see if you can find it. Right over here where you were.
When the deer's body breaks down because of the work done by the bacteria, it returns to the soil. This is important for the earth because the carcass actually gives vital energy back to the environment.
So look right here. decomposers give energy back in the soil. See right here, it makes rich soil.